Hey everyone, it's Kyle from Cool Collectibles, back again for another review. This time it's the Hot Toys MMS379 Marty McFly from Back to the Future Part 2. For all your 1/6 scale figures and more, click the link in the description below to head on over to Sideshow Collectibles. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, so I got this in about a week or so ago, so it's the Sideshow exclusive that you see with the sticker there. And it does come with a couple of extra accessories, but not too much more. But overall, the set itself is pretty good. And the figure itself has some improvements over the original, but there are still a few nits to pick, which I'll get to in a second. But I'll get him out of the way and go through the accessories. Hold on. Alright, first up, it's got the shoe holder that you see in the movie, and it can open up. And if you do take his shoes off, you can put them in there, but they don't have any other shoes or anything like that for him, so I'm not sure how many people are actually going to display it with his shoes in there, but either way, it is a sort of nice extra feature. Unfortunately, no Nike license, and so there's no Nike logo. I think they were hoping to get it. I think some of the conventions they had the Nike logo and were promoting that they were looking at getting the license, but I guess it either ended up being too expensive or Nike didn't approve it. So that's the holder there. It also comes with this newspaper. I think the newspaper here is a better quality than the first one that they had with the figure, where it said I love you or something from his girlfriend. But here overall it's got several pages, and each of them are different, so it's a really nicely detailed newspaper. So I like that, and that's from the scene where they just done that chase in the square, and he changed the timeline so that instead of him going to jail, or his son going to jail, Biff here went to jail. So I like that. Also comes with the almanac here, and again it nicely folds out. Not as many pages, but a few pages in there. And I also like how the cover is actually a separate piece, and you sort of see the core magazine underneath. Oop. So that's a nice touch there. And it also comes with the silver bag that you can gently sort of open up and put the magazine inside. It feels quite delicate, so I'm not sure how easy this is to tear, but you can sort of pry it open like that and have him holding it if you want. But overall, not too bad there. Comes with his little Casio watch, I think, or his calculator watch of some sort. Not much detail on it, it's just black molded plastic, but not too bad on his wrist. Of course, comes with the hoverboard. Now this piece here is quite annoying. There are warnings and instructions to not try and squeeze the foot in there too tightly, or you might damage this piece, and it is a very sort of tight piece, so the boots, if I just grab the figure, the boots don't really fit in there too well, so it does take a bit to get in there. I'm not going to have him riding it on display, and he'll probably just be holding it, but overall the paint application and the detailing is pretty good. They're the magnets on the back, I think, that hold his feet onto it. I'm not sure what this little black dot is. I can't remember that in the movie, but I guess unfortunately there's no, I think it was Mattel, no Mattel logo on there again, so no license. But I think some people have got some decals that you might be able to stick on there. But overall, not too bad there. The pink is nicely done and looks pretty accurate to the movie. Also comes with the Pepsi bottle, and again, no license, so no Pepsi there, but you get the gist with the colours and the bottle itself. So and it does look like it's a bit of light piping, so it's a bit of translucent plastic there, so it does sort of give the feel of the liquid inside, so that's pretty good. Comes with his swap out hair for the cap, so you can separate the pieces. So it's got some hat hair there, which is okay, and then you put the cap on top, and it does look pretty good. I think from memory the cap, it doesn't look as colourful. I think from what I remember of some photos and so on, the cap has a lot more of a yellow or a rainbow tinge to it. You can sort of see the yellowing come out, but this one here is actually a lot more subtle in its sort of metallic sheen, but it is pretty nice, but would have been better if they made it pop a bit more. Comes with a slew of hands, so various hands to hold certain things. I'm not sure if that's holding the magazine or the hoverboard or something, and action hands, and so on. So you can get him into all sorts of different poses. If you got the exclusive version, it comes with this extra gun from the Wild Gunman, I think it was called, the gun in the game in the 80s store. And it's nicely detailed. Unfortunately, it would have been nice if they actually included the arcade box. That would have been outstanding, but unfortunately they only just included the gun. And to hold the gun, they included I think it's a couple of these hands, so you can sort of have him holding the gun or twirling it in his hand, I guess, if that's that one there. So a couple of nice options there if you got the exclusive version. And of course it comes with this ridiculously large base with the pull from the square if you pose him up on the hoverboard, and again with these flight stands you just sort of screw it in there like so, and then use this waist grabber thing to have him on the hoverboard. I really wish they had included a generic black oval stand, but it looks like they're not doing that for any figure these days. Luckily I still have the original from the first figure, because the first figure is sort of stepping inside the DeLorean, so he hasn't used the stand, so I'll just use the original stand for that. But that's pretty much it for the accessories, so I'll get onto the figure. Hold on. Alright, so here is the figure. The head sculpt I think is a definite improvement over the original, particularly from certain angles. If you sort of look at it from there and under certain lighting like that, or from this side, I think the likeness is definitely there, and an improvement over the first. But I just wish they didn't give him such a somber, almost sad expression. A lot of the action sequences he has more of a determined look, and that would have suited this figure more, particularly with the hoverboard, and you're posing it on the hoverboard. So a bit unfortunate there, but overall the likeness is there, and again the skin detailing, the glassiness in the eyes, and the realism overall is very good. And the hair, as always, Hot Toys is probably the best by a long margin in the hair. Their stranding and little details is far better than pretty much everyone else in the competition. The outfit, the jacket is really nicely detailed. I am having a bit of trouble having it sort of sit a bit more naturally around his neck. This side here seems to ride up a little bit, and so it's a bit uneven like that, but I might try and, I don't know if I need to take it off and just loosen it up somehow, but overall it looks very nice. The material here is some sort of soft, almost like a vinyl material, and the sleeves here, they don't extend like they did in the movie, and so it feels like a soft, almost like a rubber type material. So I'm not sure if that's going to deteriorate over time, particularly if you have the elbows bent in any way, but I'll probably avoid doing that. But the detailing on the front here and the rear, I've no idea how they've sort of done this sort of bubbling effect, but it looks very nice and very accurate to the movie. So I do like that. The t-shirt underneath, it does tend to sort of roll up at the bottom here, but I did watch the movie just a couple of days ago just to refresh my memory, and I think that's actually pretty accurate to the movie. If you look at it, it doesn't really look like there's a sewn hem or anything in the movie, and it does sort of curl up as well. So they might have just decided to replicate that instead of really finishing it off like they normally do. The jeans in the denim, it's like a softer material. Not sure if it sort of fluffs up over time, but it does look quite nice, and there's no belt or anything, it's just a bit of velcro in the front there, and I do like how they've done the jean pockets there, so quite nice the way they've done that. Now I guess my nitpick on the jeans is I just don't think it's quite long enough. They really should be tucked right into the shoes there, so I'm not sure if I just need to somehow loosen the jeans at the top there or bring them down, and just try and tuck them into the shoes a bit more. This side's not too bad, but maybe just half a centimetre more would have been nicer. And the shoes here, unfortunately again, no Nike logo or anything, no swoosh on the side, but the overall design and sculpt is pretty damn good. Like the clear undersole there, like the old Air Jordans. So that's overall the design of that is quite nice. So the outfit itself doesn't really hinder the articulation, although I have found that the arms can't quite come down closer to his body. I don't know if it's just the shirt underneath that's hindering that, but that's pretty much as far as I can get it down by his side. But he has all the usual articulation points, so double knees. You can sort of get some ankle rocking in that shoe there, so if you have him in a sort of slightly wider stance, it's not too bad, but I'd be careful just in case you sort of snap that off. And the elbows, again, just be wary on this sort of rubber bit here creasing over time or cracking, so just be careful there. Head articulation, I think there might be a separate neck joint at the bottom there, but it is quite tight, and it is a two-piece, so it's not a single neck piece there, but you can tilt his head and rotate it, but just be careful of the paint rub on the neck. But that's pretty much it for the figure. So overall, I'm really happy with the way they've tailored the jeans, tailored the jacket. The materials are nice. Would have been nice if the jeans were slightly longer, and overall the head sculpt is an improvement as well. So I think they've done a pretty good job, and the scale of the figure and the proportions of the body, just like with the first Marty McFly figure, I think they've hit that pretty spot on as well. So to finish up, I might just grab the original figure and give you guys a comparison of the head sculpts and so on, and finish up the review. Alright, so here they are side by side, and I have the original Marty McFly in his pose stepping into the DeLorean, so I'm not going to bother changing that up. But there you can see the head sculpts. They're quite similar, and again, actually, now that I've got them side by side, I think the overall likeness of Michael J. Fox is probably better on the left, but in this sort of pose, for that specific scene, I think the one on the right here, the original, actually does the job better. So it's a bit strange where I think you know, from certain angles and so on, the first is still pretty good from a likeness perspective, but I have to say I actually prefer the original in that sort of specific pose. So it's a bit strange, and I'll have to see how I can pose this up to really highlight the positives in the sculpt and so on. But overall, for these two variants of Marty McFly, from the outfits and so on, they're both as iconic as you can get from both movies. So I think I'm pretty happy to have both in the collection, and I'm not sure if they haven't teased anything from Back to the Future 3 yet, but hopefully they might do something with Doc Brown as well. So Doc just released in Hong Kong maybe last week, so I've got that pre-ordered from Sideshow as well, so hopefully that comes early in the new year. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys like that look at the new Hot Toys Marty McFly figure. Hopefully you can click that like and subscribe button. I did have more reviews planned for this year, but I guess with the Christmas rush and customs, some of the things I had coming are stuck either in customs or at the Australia Post depot. So I probably won't get anything until after Christmas, and I'm actually away, so I probably won't be finishing any reviews until the new year. So hopefully there'll be a flurry of reviews coming up early in the first couple of weeks of January. So hopefully you can stick around for all that. Thanks again for tuning in 2017. I might do an end of year collection video just to finish off the year, and hopefully you can stick around for that. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.